you guys. Hopefully you can hear me. So Tasha went live tonight, like she said she would. Um, and she is saying that she is going to appeal the decision, the verdict, and I guess, the money that they had. They were saying that she has to pay. So I probably should have taken a few more minutes to touch on this. But what I wanted to say, I was listening to the lead attorney earlier, and I played that for you guys, where he was talking to the other gentleman. I believe it was yesterday. But in the middle of their conversation, because they were talking for longer than the amount of the recording that I played for you guys, but they were talking about how she probably should have hired an African American lawyer, especially being there in Atlanta. And I think that people, when they think about Atlanta, they kind of think that it's black or browner than it is. It's really not. Georgia, the state of Georgia, is not as a whole. And so you have to realize that people come from other parts of the state and work in the city. Um, you know, I'm just saying that to say people have they visualize Atlanta a certain way that it's actually not. It's still the South. It's still what it is. And so I do agree with him now that I'm listening to how she wants to try to appeal this. She should have done that from the beginning. And because this probably, if she's going this hard to try to win something, but I don't know if she's going to win the appeal. I don't even know if they will allow her to appeal. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I see Dennis Byron. He's over on his channel, kind of talking about the amount of money, whether she can pay it or not. They can really hold her to paying it. That's what they're saying. I don't know how true that is. I'm not a lawyer. I would have to do some research to kind of really find out how that works. But because the guy that he's talking to is over there saying that he secured $6.9 million from the rapper Da Brat, for the young woman that she got into a fight with in the bathroom. I don't know if you guys remember that situation. And that was a criminal case, though. However, like I told you guys before, this is not a criminal case. So even though you hear these guys try to make it sound as if this is the same thing. It's not. It is different rules. That much I do know. There are different rules for civil and for criminal cases. And the case that he's talking about is a criminal case against Brad, where she has to pay that girl damages, um, medical and the fact it just I don't even want to go over that case. And I was reading some of that as well, but yeah. So you secured $6 million for that girl, and we understand that that was a criminal case. Even though Brad do not, it was saying that she didn't really necessarily have the money like that to hand over. I think she is paying on it, and I think on one of those shows, I think Growing Up Hip Hop, she said she only had so much left to pay, but she is paying the girl. She's paying her in her own way, in her own time. Excuse me. Because if she don't have $6 million just to give her, she don't have it. Like you can't. She's gonna if Tasha K gives this girl this money and she don't have that kind of money, she's gonna get it when she get it. That was my point earlier. But people on YouTube, they want to kind of make this situation way more than what it is at the end of the day. But the guy did say what I was saying, that the lawyers probably know that what Tasha K is worth when they asked for that amount. So he kind of confirmed what I was saying. So she must have X amount of dollars, right? Um, she has been on YouTube she said, since 2015. So she may have X amount of dollars. I know when I started watching her, she was somewhere in that 500,000 sub mark, and she's getting, you know, based on the stories, because sometimes she will say things where that video will get millions and millions of clicks. And like I was saying to you guys before, YouTube is a combination of a lot of things. We just don't get paid because you have a certain amount of people watching your channel. It's all things that have to work together, if that makes sense. So some people could have the same amount of subs, but if they're not doing the same amount of work, they're not getting the same money. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. So maybe she is, you know, in that range to where she can pay the money. Um, but she is saying that she's going to appeal. Now I'm kind of like trying to process all this stuff that she's saying, because I feel like this is something she should have done from the beginning if she wanted to come from that direction. Because a lot of it I do agree with. It's kind of like when Dave Chappelle was saying that whole thing about the baby. It's like the moral compass of people, that you care about this, but you don't care about it when it's in a different direction. And I just said that in one of my videos as well that I'm getting ready to put up. I don't know if I put it up yet, you know, about this whole this Fresh and Fit or whatever they names, Ren and Stimpy, Ren and Stimpy, Kevin Samuels, and all these people on here who are like promoting domestic violence, and they yelling and screaming at women and kicking them out of rooms, and just really promoting a violent tone between men and women. And no one's outraged about that, but y'all outraged about her calling this woman a prostitute while she calling herself one. A hoe, like I was saying in that one of these videos, a hoe, a whore, and a prostitute is the same thing at the end of the day. But what Tasha has to understand, that these celebrities aren't going to get favor. Like, she needs to understand that she's not a celebrity. She may feel like one because she has X amount of money, but you're not a celebrity to these people in these courtrooms. They don't know you. They more than likely know Cardi, because Cardi's commercials are coming on in the middle of football games. They may know her because her music is playing at the stadium. They may know her because she's interviewing with whomever is on late night or whatever. So she's on The View, she's on this, that, and the other. So they may be more familiar with Cardi B than they are with you. You may feel like you're just as important as her, but just the justice system does not work like that. Like, let's just keep it real about that. And people need to be mindful of what real life is about when they set out on these platforms and do all this stuff. Like, it really kind of, you find out what it really is about. And maybe this is humbling her. I don't know. It don't really sound like it. But I digress. Yeah, you're not a celebrity. Yeah, she's gonna get favor. Look at the way Choke and Oh Boy was handling, calling themselves reporting on this. Um, even though, and the one guy is supposed to be legitimately a journalist. Well, Choke is too, because he's a producer. He's produced on TV and so on and so forth. So they're professionals, and look how they're acting, right? They were not acting in a professional manner. Like, Don Lemon cannot come out here and report on stuff and just without integrity, okay? And so the dentist person shouldn't be out here doing that either. But this is the type of stuff that people will turn their back to when when they just want the other person to win. And I'm not saying Tasha was right, because she was wrong. At some point, she should have let all this stuff go. And that's really the bottom line to it. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. You had the opportunity to drop this. I mean, if you just wanted to make a name for yourself and make money, you have to be realistic in that. Like, you should not have let this go all the way to court thinking you were going to beat a celebrity, right? And as they're, at this, now she's trying to say that she's trying to help her community, and she's trying to speak up against, certain things that's in music. Well, Cardi B is not the only person in music doing all this stuff, right? And even though like I said before, she is fair, she talks about everybody. Like, it's not like she's not saying stuff about every celebrity. And I'm speaking of Tasha. She does this to everyone. Cardi was never like exempt to, she was never like singled out. Like, I'm just gonna attack her for no reason. I think, like I said in the very beginning, the fact that Cardi bit the bait and she started arguing with Tasha, that's what took this and spiraled this into what it is now. Because then she wanted to keep pushing her to talk back to her, because she wanted to, as some people are wording it, ride her coattail. And so Cardi should have been smarter in that as well. But like I said in that last video, maybe she has learned that you don't need to respond to everything people are saying out here as well. I think there are lessons for both of them in this. Um, I don't know if you guys went over to her channel to listen to what she had to say, like I said, I'm still trying to process what she's trying to do with that, because there are people here on this chat on YouTube who do speak on social issues. You have Dr. Umar, you have Tone Talks, and other people who are more social based channels who are trying to bring awareness to things that are going on, including myself. I talk about what I want to talk about, even though I do talk about celebrities too. I don't just talk about them though, nor do I want to. I don't care to get into none of that. So it's a difference. Then the sector is different. You're a celebrity gossip vlog, or and blog. So you're not really a social conscious blog like that, but you're trying to now say that you just wanted to bring awareness to how the music has changed, and it's kind of promoting the worst in us. And I think a lot of us have already said that. Anyone that really is paying attention can tell, like, why are people not speaking up and saying something to these little boys talking about shooting each other in music? I've already said that myself. Um, but because we don't control these things, we don't control the music industry, we don't control Hollywood, there's only so much we can say and do. And yeah, some of us are on here trying to bring awareness to that, for us to be mindful. But you can't just jump on one person and say she is the reason that music is this way. Like, you can't put all of that on Cardi. Now, I don't know if that's totally what she's trying to say, but I'm gonna play a little bit of what she said, and then you guys can let me know in the comments. Then I'll see you guys in the next video. But I'm just gonna play what she said, because I'm still trying to process a little bit what she's trying to do with this appeal. But like I said, I don't even know if it will go far.
Judicial verdict against myself and my company solely off of Sympathy and Payola, asking me to redact the real reason as to why I was reporting on the issues at hand, and succeeded in making me out to be an angry and malicious woman. This is a real business. I am a wife of 17 years, a mother to a beautiful 15-year-old girl who's an honors student, and a 2-year-old son. My platform creates news and sheds light on the issues going on in our society. My First Amendment right poses a threat to the machine's sole intention to mislead the public with caricatures built on violence, selling sex, and images of a denounced stereotype. Look at Chicago and LA and various other cities that can't even sit in their own living room and braid their kids' hair without worrying about bullets flying through and killing their children. My First Amendment right was painted to the public and courts as a bully, vile, and malicious towards a machine that glorifies a lifestyle meant to serve as modern-day genocide on our people. A machine that clearly influences our children on how to kill, sell their bodies, and more. You can't bully someone or something that takes pride in painting our children and teaching our children to be degenerates. And if you are a public figure that pushes this image and this lifestyle for likes and views and a way to make money in our society, then I and we have the duty to exercise our First Amendment right as traditional media and new age digital media analysts to say, no, this ain't it. This is not defamation or invasion of privacy when these machines have pushed this lifestyle on us for profit. This ain't about $4 million. This machine never wanted my money. They wanted to shut down my company in order to protect their assets that glorify this reckless and dangerous lifestyle pushed on us and our children. It was about someone demanding that I respect and give respect to something that has never earned my respect. This is about changing the trajectory of how things have been done in Hollywood for over a century. There are no more gatekeepers, no more red tape. No more waiting to be picked and told what you have.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know what to really make of that, where she's trying to go with that. It sounds like she's saying that she was just pointing out certain things about Cardi as an artist. Um, that, but like I said, Cardi's not the only artist like that. Like, all of them are like that at this point, right? And so, um, you would have to show yourself doing that to all these people. And like I said, not to say that she don't, but when you have 40 videos about one person, and then you all over Twitter, all over Instagram as well, it's kind of hard to make that point, um, that this wasn't directed to Cardi. And I think that's how the jury and the judge took it. And then, like Choke was saying, she was making a lot of racially charged comments in the very beginning in some of her videos. You never know how those people were receiving what she was saying, and so they probably, you already lost before you could even say anything else anyway, right? Just based on that. And so you do have to be careful what you're saying and doing and putting out. Just because you have the right to say things do not mean you should say them. And how many times have we all heard that? Just because you have the right to say things do not mean that you need to say them. Just because people have a right to put stuff in music do not mean that they need to put that stuff in music. Like, the end. I mean, I get what she's saying, but that also applies to her, right? We can't put a moral compass just on Cardi and on whomever else she's trying to point that to. That goes for these YouTubers as well. That goes for Kevin Samuels. That goes for all these guys that are sitting on here, making up stats and telling men to beat their wives and saying all this crazy stuff. It's the same thing. Like, we all have to have sharing that responsibility, and in particular in our community, right? Because we're only going to get that one look. We don't have all these different cable stations and all this stuff and media outlets. We don't even have our own media outlet, right? We don't have that. So we all have to share in that responsibility of being responsible and how we're projecting ourselves. And it's so weird because I'm saying this in some videos already that I'm about to put up, or that I already put up. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can't make Cardi the only person, and then to you can't just hold her responsible, in that way. And it looked as if she was attacking her. But I think that people also have to understand that Cardi was saying things back to Tasha K. To my understanding, Tasha wasn't allowed to submit certain evidence, and I guess that's what she's trying to say, that she wasn't able to really show why she was doing the things that she was doing, because the judge would not allow certain evidence in it. Even Choke was saying that they would not allow her to introduce certain things because they were supposed to submit their evidence like before the trial started. And these people had 4 years to get all this stuff together. So maybe that's why he was saying no. I don't know. Do you guys think that she's going to get anywhere with this appeal? I kind of think that she might not. I think that she has to really understand where she is, really understand her position, and there's a way, it's just a way to handle yourself when you're on this platform. Some people still don't know what YouTube is going to say and do. And like she said, they never approached her before. You guys can go over to her channel and listen to everything that she had to say. It's about 12 minutes long, but she makes some valid points. Why were certain things not done if what she was doing was so wrong, right? But like I said, just because you have freedom of speech do not mean that you need to exercise that. Because at the end of the day, you have to take into consideration, like somebody else said, you're a black woman. You got to take that into consideration. Choke said that jury was not black. It was one person on that jury that was black. You have to take that in consideration. The justice system was not designed for us anyway. You need to take that into consideration. You just shouldn't be out here lying on folk. Even though there are several videos, what I'm noticing, there are several videos up by several different YouTubers where people were already saying that everything Tasha K was saying was a lie. Even Lovely T, and even with that phone call being leaked, she said that she, the information was not true. So they already said the stuff wasn't true. But I guess just simply the fact that she put it out there at all, that's what Cardi went after her for, because they put it out there, period. But they did come back and say that the stuff wasn't true. Now, why they didn't take that into consideration, I don't know. But I also think that they probably looked at the fact that Tasha looked like she was bullying um, Cardi. That's what it really was. That's what I think. I haven't read the transcripts yet. I really want to read, just the transcripts of what was said. I think they said it's available now that the trial is over. Um, because I do want to see what was said, what was presented, what she was trying to use as her defense. Because Choke and Dennis, they were not telling us that. They were very tilted in the way they were reporting what was going on. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of this, and I'll see you in the next video.